Chase Lehock with a blue futon, and out of the digital world, Disney Plus is turning red. Why did this Pixar movie go to theaters and now on digital only? Let's find out. So to answer the question to the intro of why I went to theaters and then why it's all of a sudden digital only, I do think it has to do with the Batman, and maybe they didn't have good faith in this movie for what it was trying to do and portray. I don't know. It's a good thing what Disney's trying to do, and with Buzz Lightyear coming out in June, I believe. Let's see if Bob Chapek decides to put it on Disney Plus only. But Turning Red as a movie, what's it about? Very simple premise. A young Canadian Chinese girl, 13, is about to hit puberty, but at this time in this family kind of curse, you want to put it, they turn into red pandas, and they got to figure out how to take this red panda entity and put it in a medallion or something and just keep it hidden forever. Will this character hide the red panda or embrace it? Let's see if I like this movie. So I thought it was a pretty good movie. I thought it was an okay movie. I do have some, I want to say it's faults with the movie as a whole. I do have faults with, it brings out some interesting world just agendas, and it just makes me go, would this happen with A and B? So before I go into those in general, let's talk about what I liked and didn't like about the movie. So what I didn't like about the movie, I understand what they're trying to do with the animation. They did very much a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Mitchell's versus the Machine kind of animation where it's like boom, boom, just in your face kind of stuff, anime, stuff like that. Completely understand. I'm watching a documentary about it, how the directors want to do that. And I think it's A-okay if you want to do that style. I think it's very different with what it was trying to do, and very different styles of animation. Like I said, the watery eyes. And there's a scene where when she's a red panda going through these buildings, it's like very like, if you remember watching that movie Upgrade, where it's very like boom, boom, boom. And so they did the same thing, kind of like this weird style of animation. It's very different from the other smooth type of animation it was trying to do. People say it's a hysterical movie. I don't think it was like laugh out loud funny. I thought there were some cute moments in the movie. And then the third act almost turned into a Godzilla movie. Even though it turned into a Godzilla movie, I did enjoy where it went with that third act. So I know some people are saying the third act might be the weakest. I actually think the third act is the strongest with what they had to do and where it turned into, because it was more of a WTF moment. But I kind of laughed at the WTF moment because I was like, okay, that's kind of ingenious of what they're trying to do. But getting there to point A to B, I understand what it was trying to do with a, being in Canada, which that's an issue right there. I mean, come on now, Canada? No, I'm joking. But yeah, it's a Canadian, Chinese type of movie about 13-year-old girls as a whole. And like I said, I'm watching the documentary, and they're talking about, no, this ain't a Chinese movie. It's a movie about a 13-year-old girl, which, very interesting. Never been to Canada, but this movie in 2002 with 9/11, it makes you wonder about all this diversity that was put into the movie. That's how I look at it. I look at the bigger picture. But then you say that, Chase, when I say that, and with it, everything going on with the Freedom Convoy in Canada, behind in the conservative side was, you could totally tell, was a Muslim or from Islamic faith wearing, and it was like, yep, so you're saying like, oh yeah, that's everywhere in Canada. It's like, well, there's both sides of the aisle, so I find that very interesting. They put it in there, and with the, the sensitivity of 2002 and everything like that, so it makes you wonder like, interesting that they would put it in there with that time frame with 9/11 and stuff happening like that. Like I said, never been in Canada, so I can't say what actually occurred at that time frame. So I do think it's a cute movie. It's not the best Pixar movie I've seen. It's not the worst. It's hard to say that Pixar has a worst one. To me, the worst one is still WALL-E. I can't stand WALL-E, even though WALL-E is turning into a more realistic story than what it is. I was just not a big fan of WALL-E. It was more of a pessimistic movie, and I'm more of an optimistic type of person. So, I mean, Turning Red, like I said, it's a fun, cute movie. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's not going to blow doors out of anyone. It's not going to be like, oh, this is like the best fucking shit ever. No, it's a good movie, and I enjoyed it. So when I talk about the world agenda as a whole, yeah, I'm from the USA, America, and of course, our top hat, Canada. So it's in Toronto. Never been in Toronto. I still want to at least go to Canada one of these days. Like, why not? It's literally right up there. So why would I not go to Canada? But with this, I find very interesting about what America / Canadian movies are portraying versus what, movies like, since it's China, let's talk about China. So you have a bunch of movies in America and China that have diversity, that talk about Chinese culture, Japanese culture, Korean culture, Canadian culture. It's different. Mexican culture, like all around the world culture. And so we're willing to embrace that, right? But when you get China cinema, they'll never embrace American culture. They'll never embrace Canadian culture. They'll never embrace Japanese culture. They'll never embrace South Korean culture. So it's very interesting. And then their number one movie right now is a anti-Korea American film that is like the number one in their box office right now is in China right now. So I understand what we're trying to do with, diversity and trying to get different angles of, around the world. What is it like living in China? What's it like living here? What's it like living here? But us appeasing to China, and it's coming up right now with the Florida bill, as well as what Governor DeSantis said about, Disney lining their pockets with CCP, with Mulan and stuff like that. How people are willing to like ignore it because, oh shit, China's the number 2 biggest market in for movies, so we must appease and censor and do what they want. Like they won't show the Tibet movie with Brad Pitt in it. They won't. They're anti Richard Gere because Richard Gere's like that. So this is a huge thing. I'm a huge I'm gonna call historian with movies and China, but just job in general with China has a lot to do with going on in this world right now with Ukraine, Russia. If you think it's just Ukraine, Russia, you got to really think that's actually China and Taiwan at the same time. But just overall, I just think of we need to stop appeasing. Yes, I don't mind that it has Chinese characters. I don't mind at all. But I just find it very interesting that we are willing to do all this change and to show all this diversity, show all the world, while other countries are literally doing the exact opposite, but we are willing to appease to the exact opposite country. Yeah, this is nothing about Turning Red, about how it's directed well, how it's a cute movie and everything like that. But when watching it, those little themes and the world geography and the world arena that's occurring right now, it makes me think that sometimes I look at a movie and I got to think, what's the actual agenda? What is actually occurring and everything like that? And I know, like I said, I'm watching the documentary and they're, saying like it's all female, cast, not cast, but you mean like, production designer, director, uh, producer, and then a lead animator. So congratulations. I mean, if you are the best for the job, fucking you deserve it. And I do think these people were great at their job of what they're trying to do. But was Turning Red a movie for me? Yes and no. I enjoyed it. I had some fun time with it. I'm kind of like that. I like the whole transformation of a red panda. I think it's cute. It works for the message of the whole. But, I mean, it's a movie, and I was expecting to laugh a little bit more of a message that I could connect to. But hey, I'm not a 13-year-old girl or a girl in general. I am a man, so I can't really fault it for the message what it was trying to do, because I do think if a girl, 13-year-old girl, even a 15-year-old girl, an 11-year-old girl watch this movie, they're going to enjoy the heck out of it if they like boy bands, which I don't like boy bands. And if you could draw, I can't draw, and I wish I could draw. That's a huge fault for me. But hey, it's a movie. I do think people will enjoy it. So Turning Red will receive a 3 out of 5 blue futons. So it goes at 60%. So see the critics' scores gave this one. So you have the critics a 95%. That's pretty impressive. 180 of them. Audience a 65%. Very interesting with 500. Here's critic consensus. Heartwarming, humorous, beautifully animated, and culturally expansive. Turning Red extends Pixar's long list of family-friendly triumphs. Okay, heartwarming, yes, I understand the connection between the daughter and the mother. Correct. Humorous, not my type of humor, I'll agree. And I'm willing to say, I can't really give it faults for that. But, hey, it's not for me for the humor. I thought it had some chuckles, but I wasn't like, this is fucking hysterical. Beautifully animated, absolutely. Even though some animation in this type did bother me. Not the anime style, but it was just more of like the characters. We are starting to do this thing where all characters have like these round faces, these, and it's just like, why does everyone look the same that way? That does a little bother me a little bit. It's animatronic. They're making everyone look the same. You've seen these in the commercials now where everyone's like bubbly and big. I don't like that at all. I like people have a little bit different body types. And culturally expansive. I mean, Raya did the same thing. and I enjoyed that movie a little bit more because that was a huge like backstory of dragons and stuff like that. I enjoyed that a little bit more. I mean, culture expansion, yeah, exactly. That's very interesting because before reading that, I didn't know it said that, and I was talking about how we are willing to do it, but other countries are not. We are nominating like Drive My Car for Best Picture, director, screenwriting, as well as international film. We did that with Parasite. We did stuff like that, but you will never see China. We nominated a movie about Hong Kong, and China banned the Oscars last year. They banned the Oscars because Zoe Zhao criticizes China, but she wins director and best picture for No Man's Land. I think she won something else. She won like 3 Oscars last year. So it's very interesting how movie companies are willing to appease to China, but China's like, fuck you, Oscars, you're not showing it because you have a short film that is basically pro Hong Kong, and you have a director who said China's not my homeland. So it's like, I think we need to grow a pair, or grow some fallopian tubes, and just be like, fuck off, we're not editing, we are going to do what we want to do. And I think Turning Red does that. Will it be in China? I don't know, because I don't think Disney Plus is in China. Neither is Netflix, neither is Google, neither is Twitter, Facebook. Come on, people, think. So we have the 95, my 60, or the 65. Chase Luck with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. So let me know what you think about the Futon Utopia. You Blue Futonians. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Yeah, I kind of ranted on this one, but I think it's something that people need to think about, because you're just like, oh, it's just Turning Red. No, it's Top Gun, the new Top Gun with the Taiwan flag. Even Bill Maher's talking about it. It's Red Dawn with Chris Hemsworth. It's Iron Man 3. It's Transformers 4. There's a shit ton of them, and you're just like, why are we editing for them?